How are your listening skills? So many times we talk to other people, but we don't listen to them. When you're talking to somebody else, you need to let them know that you're listening. Use what I call, if nothing else, the listening grunts. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I see. And that's important, especially when you're on the phone, because on the phone, they don't get that visual take. All right, so let them know that you're talking. Now, on top of that, don't speed listen. What do I mean by speed listening? Well, to do that, I have to ask you the question, are you average? See, the average person speaks at a rate of 150 words a minute, but the average person listens at a rate of 350 words a minute. So are you average? To prove this point, let me walk through a little exercise with you. I'm going to play a quick audio clip. You'll hear it here in a second, and this is playing at 150 words a minute. What I want you to do, just grab a sheet of paper or something, write it down, right? What I want you to find out is, listen to this, what's the message? Specifically, what is the event and where is it being held? This is at 150 words a minute where the average person speaks. Here you go.
What makes a wine event extraordinary? Find out by choosing the place where wine industry representatives go for fun. Wine and Food Week in the Woodlands Town Center, a food and wine extravaganza held in the Woodlands, Texas. Minutes from Houston's International Airport and an easy drive from Houston, Wine and Food Week is the largest, most comprehensive food, wine, and entertainment event from New Orleans to Aspen.
Well, there you have it, 150 words a minute. So here's the question, right? What was it? If you heard, it was Wine and Food Week was the name of the event that was taking place. Where is it being held? The Woodlands, Texas, minutes outside of Houston's airport, right? So we can pick that up, right? That's 150 words a minute. The average person speaks at that pace. But now the average person listens at a rate of 350 words a minute. Right, so 350 words a minute. I'm going to play another clip for you. Different clip this time. I'm going to be more specific. As you go through this one, jot down 4 different items. Number 1, when is the event taking place? They mention a specific brand of wine. What's the name of the wine that they list? Where's the event being held, and how many wineries are involved in this thing? 350 words a minute. Here you go.
In 2006, more than 5,500 people escaped daily life and kicked back with a glass, a fork, and friends. The Louisiana Tourism Chef Showcase spotlighted the best of Louisiana talent at the Travel Across Louisiana Dinner, as well as the Wine Rendezvous Grand Tasting. This spectacular event at the Marriott Waterway Hotel and Conference Center packed in attendees who were served the best of the best from over 200 wineries, alongside masterful creations prepared by the finest of restaurants.
Whew, there you go. That's 350 words a minute. Did you pick up the details in there? 350, the average person listens at that pace, right? So if you picked it up, right, when is it happening? It was in 2006. What's the brand of wine? It was a brand called Fork and Friends. Where's it being held? It was at the Marriott Waterway Hotel. And how many wineries were involved? 200. If you didn't quite catch, or over 200, right? If you didn't quite catch that, let me play that one more time and I'll indicate where those answers are coming from. Here we go.
In 2006, more than 5,500 people escaped daily life and kicked back with a glass, a fork, and friends. The Louisiana Tourism Chef Showcase spotlighted the best of Louisiana talent at the Travel Across Louisiana Dinner, as well as the Wine Rendezvous Grand Tasting. This spectacular event at the Marriott Waterway Hotel and Conference Center packed in attendees who were served the best of the best from over 200 wineries, alongside masterful creations prepared by the finest of restaurants.
See, we can pick up that information, right? There's a lot crammed in there, but we're listening. We can pick it up. We may have to concentrate it on a little bit. So my question for you is this. If your customer is talking to you at 150 words a minute, and you're listening at 350 words a minute, what's going on up here for the other 200 words a minute? Odds are it's got nothing to do with the customer, or you're anticipating what they're going to ask you, and so you're already anticipating your answer. Let's just cover a real quick solution that you can use to basically help you in that particular situation. What are some things that you can do to make that happen? Number 1, use a check back. Right? Yeah, and this can be something as simple as, well, tell me if this sounds right. Right? And just kind of paraphrase back to them a little bit about what they just told you. Right? Another thing, right? Just a couple of different elements there. Well, let me see if I have this straight. Did it, right? Just kind of give back. Or how can I make this clear? Okay, right? And you kind of reiterate back. Or am I thinking about this correctly? Right? Just some of those things, by repeating it back to them, it does 2 things. Number 1, it lets them know that you were listening. Number two, if you got a detail wrong, it gives them the opportunity to correct it. Use the check back on a regular basis to make sure you're communicating properly with your customers.